Yo.
Well, yo, that shit was going crazy. I was over here listening. I was trying to turn up with y'all real quick.
We had a DJ and stuff too, man, but we had to show the our playlist off real quick.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I hear y'all. How y'all feeling, man?
Now we doing good. What's up, man? How you feel? What time is it over there for the viewers?
In LA.
It's 6 p.m. in LA.
6 o'clock. Yo, my man's still living in the sun, man. Subtle flex. It's getting dark over here.
Definitely dark hours.
Hey man, I'm not missing that. I ain't gonna lie to you right now. This is the best time for me to be out here. You know, my sleep schedule is crazy right now.
Nah, I feel it, bro. Like I seen a few posts like, yo, it's time for the little weekend to pass with the big weekend pulling up, man. Like somebody was like, yo, I thought it was Friday yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It feel like the days just connect for some reason. I don't know.
Exactly. And in a strange way too, like it's moving by kind of fast, which is wild. You know?
For sure. For sure.
You said it's kind of moving fast.
I might have to take my joint off private.
You should take it off private or put it on private?
No, I had to put it on private. I might have to take it off. Let me see.
But nah, people love calling and creating, like, you know what I'm saying, unforeseen intermissions for no reason. You feel me?
All right, well, hold on.
We out here on Instagram Live. We making this shake, you know what I'm saying? The barbershops is closed, but the virtual barbershop is always open, you feel me? Some way, somehow, we both got cuts.
We don't know how that happened, but virtually.
They've been asking us all day, how you have a haircut?
Not me. Listen, I'm over here, I'm starting to whoop it. I be like trying to trim up my mustache a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, we got the virtual cuts. We don't know how it happened. We just woke up, bipped up. You heard me.
So you got a filter on that joint, huh?
Like that. But yeah, bro.
Hey, hold on. Before we even start though, let me do this real quick. It might pause real quick. I'm gonna take it off.
Go ahead, do your thing.
I'm gonna take
Somebody bring me the charger real quick.
I might have to hang up and then join back, huh?
All right, that's fine. Do what you gotta do.
All right, let me do it real quick.
Bet you go, bro. Bet you ready, bro? Just let us know when.
Yeah, let's do it. We can start. Like I said, I'm just multitasking. I'm making a little hookah right now.
Oh, that ain't nothing crazy. We got the same thing going in the background.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir. You already know. But yeah, bro. So for the people who don't know, this is eMeX. Is that the way to pronounce your name, bro?
That's exactly how to pronounce it. eMeX.
eMeX. A lot of people, they see your name and they don't know how to enunciate it correctly.
We're gonna make it clear on MirrorTlk.
Yeah.
We're
gonna settle that beef right now. It's eMeX.
It's just my first two initials, man. I know it's difficult. You know, it was just something that I wanted to do as far as like, I was paying an ode to Jay-Z, honestly. Like Jay-Z is Jayz, so it's 2 letters pronunciation, but it's spelled with 4. And so it's eMeX. So eMeX is 2 letters pronunciation, but it's spelled with 4.
Spelled with 4. I see what you're
doing.
You're too smooth with that one. I didn't see that coming at all.
No, exactly. Yeah, but my first 2 names.
He had the real explanation waiting for us.
Yeah, I always got to explain it, bro, because I know people see it. They like eMeX. Sometimes I get like Mex, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you know, it's funny though because, you know, I ended up just kind of accepting anything or whatever because I know it's difficult. But I always look at it like that Kanye bar. It was like, now all I need is y'all to pronounce my name is Kanye, but some of my plaques they still say Kane. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of look at it like that. Like I'm just waiting for me to, you know, pop off and shit. That way there will be no mistakes.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the thing is, like, people are gonna eventually like enunciate it correctly. At least I hope so. We're gonna have to keep telling them until they learn. They're gonna hear it until they can't anymore. You feel me? You feel me? So yeah, for those who don't know my bro, or for even those who do, I'm just gonna reintroduce him. He is a musician and influencer by way of Baltimore, Maryland, South Baltimore to be exact. We from the same neighborhood. That's my big bro right there. Now he's living out there in LA doing his thing as an influencer. Definitely multifaceted and a unique individual. So if you could do one thing for me, eMeX, I was about to say your name wrong. eMeX, can you put your @name inside of the comment and I'll pin it for you.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Howard alum, HBCU alum.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
As far as pronunciation,
definitely got
you
the
can just shorten it up and do X, do M. It don't matter, whatever. Just call me Matt. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as it's genuine. Just don't call me anything I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
100%. All right. Yeah, because I'm used to calling you Matt, so it's like, look.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So like, tell me a little bit about yourself in terms of your background and how it shaped you. Like, I know that you're from South Baltimore. What exactly does that mean if when you say that? Like, what does that feel like when you say I'm from South Baltimore?
It's like I made it in any facet of life. You know, being able to say that I came from that, you know, that sector, I should say. Like, I just feel like I made it. You know, like we face a lot of adversity. You know, where I'm from, especially when it comes to, you know, it being a crime-ridden area, poverty-stricken, whatever the case may be. You know, like I just feel like I'm blessed, you know, to be wherever it is that I'm at in life. You know, making it past 21 is a lot of times something that, you know, people that I knew didn't get a chance to do, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, whether they were locked in a box, whatever the case may be. So I just think I'm blessed, man. But I wouldn't I wouldn't trade it, you know? I wouldn't change it for the world as far as where I'm from. It really influenced me and, you know, made me the man that I am today.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I can definitely agree with that in a lot of ways because, like I said, we from the same area, so it definitely impacts who you are in a lot of ways. So where did you find your inspiration to,
my nigga Boo in the building? My fault.
You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Where did you find your confidence to step outside of your shell and go ahead and start making music?
Man, so honestly, like it was always something that I kept closed in.
Yeah.
Like it was just something that I was just doing because I loved to do it. And then actually my grandmother passed, and I used to just do it as poetry at first. But when my grandmother passed, I read my first piece like out loud at her eulogy, and basically, you know, it was a really warm feeling because I was really, really down about it, man. Like I basically watched her pass, you know what I'm saying? For months on end, I was seeing her suffer. But that was a release for me when everybody else like really gravitated towards what it is that I was saying. You know, because I was extremely nervous and I was young, so I had to have my cousin even do half of the eulogy with me, and I wrote the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you know, when people responded to it so well, and they were like, "Wow, like you really have a gift," you know, my love for music just kind of intertwined with it. So poetry ended up becoming music. You know what I'm saying? And I still did it to the point where I just loved to do it. But then when I got to Howard, you know, I went to Howard University and shit. People were like, "Yo, you can really make a career off of this." You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where it was like, okay, let me buckle down and really try to do it. You know?
So with that being said, like we talking about hopping out of your shell and getting out of your shell and, you know, just being the best version of yourself. Can you explain to your followers or the people that's in the comments exactly like where you were mentally when you first got to Howard University and stepped foot on the campus, stepped foot on the yard for the first time?
Yeah, we had Jordan on earlier.
Yeah, we had your bro Jordan on, Jordan Bailey.
Oh yeah. That's my best friend from college, man. Shout out Rock. His nickname is Rock. Shout out Rock. Shout out Jordan. Man, I was honestly nervous, bro. Like, you know, I think that because I came from a all boys school, high school as well. You know, I was supposed to be playing sports before I got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Whatever. So me going there, like, there was a lot of different people that, you know, I hadn't interacted with before. Like, this was like the upper echelon of, you know what I'm saying, black collegiate people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just nervousness, man, because I didn't know how I was gonna interact with people. You know, especially when it came to like being in school with women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
I started to kind of, you know, have a little too much fun at the same time. You know what I mean? So there's a lot.
Bro. No, we definitely understand, man. It's life. You know what I'm saying? We all go through those times and things happen.
Make it stronger.
Make us stronger.
Somebody in the comments was like, "Damn, they felt that, bro." They said he got hit by a car. They felt that.
He got hit by a car.
That's real.
Yo, that's hilarious. No, he's keeping it a being with y'all though. So
I got hit by a car at the end of my sports career all too soon, man. You know,
what was you playing?
Bro, I was doing everything. I was doing basketball, football, baseball. Then for rehab, I started to do track. But, you know, at the time, people thought I was going to go pro, man. But my dad seemed to think that we all have, like, this curse, bro. Like, as a young age, like, people already saw, like, my trajectory was crazy. But my dad ended up, for example, he injured his knee. my uncle was getting recruited for baseball to play professionally. He broke his ankle, and you know, like going into high school, you know, I got hit by the car, and I was going to that sports camp since I was 8. You know what I mean? And I was a shining athlete at the time, so yeah, definitely knock my ass into next week. That's
they wild, yo. For those who don't know a little bit about myself, I'm just gonna plug this in there, just to show y'all, like, in terms of how like people can relate. I too was a, you know, an athlete who his career was ended by a technical, what is it? By injury, I guess you can say. Like I caught pneumonia, sickness. I caught pneumonia and lost 50 pounds. Stopped playing football. So y'all probably like, why his neck so big? that's why. But back to my bro Matt. Yeah. So back to my bro Matt. So for the guys that we was talking about getting out of your shell and whatnot, at what point do you think that like male hypermasculinity in the black community stops a lot of black men from achieving their goals?
Oh man. I think it's a pride thing, bro. Like, you know, being scared to fail. You know what I mean? We don't, and that's honestly a big part of my problem too. You know, if I really had to dig deep inside myself and, you know, think of something that I have to work on, I think that, you know, we're so worried about our image and what if we fail, what if we fall short, but really the whole point in doing it, you're winning anyway just by making the attempt. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have to start understanding that, you know, like there's no losses in your effort. You know what I mean? But there is a loss in not trying it at all. You know, I think it goes back to that expression. You know, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You know,
exactly, for sure.
So I would say that's what it is, for sure.
No, that's facts though. So when you was out here in Baltimore, you was working with like ASAP and ASAP, just ASAP in general, and you knew you was working closely with ASAP. What's his name? I feel
ASAP Yams.
Yams and all that. My bad, bro. I should have definitely known ASAP Yams' name. But
rest in peace.
Rest in peace for sure.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Can you like take us back to that time in life? What did that look like for you?
Man, it was fun. I definitely say that. I think that we were all like just really getting started and just getting comfortable with the whole idea of doing music, to the point where we were just trying to put each other on. You know what I'm saying? Like Rocky was just now starting to take off and everything, and you know, and is actually from Baltimore, so he ended up actually at my session. And, you know, the first song that he actually put down, because, you know, we knew that he was trying to rap and shit anyway, was actually in my studio session. And then we ended up doing a joint called Riding Around Slow. Yams heard about it, man, and he was like, bro, next time y'all got to get me to do, like, the intro to the joint or whatever the case may be. Like, he was hyped about it. We were, you know, we continued, you know, to build after that. We got a couple of joints. We ended up doing stuff with, like, Slim K. You know, he chopped and screwed some of our joints. And, you know, my boy ended up working with Nas and shit like that. It ended up falling through after Yaz passed. And, you know, we had like a little bit of a separation in the clip. But there was a lot of different things going on at that time, man. But that was a great time in music in general.
Yeah. So for the people that's out there, you know, stuck in their box, what is the best advice you can give to somebody that's trying to get out their shell in terms of like shooting that shot and going out there and becoming the best version of themselves musically? Like how can a person like tap into that belief system, what do you think?
Get the ball rolling.
It's about knowing yourself, man. It's about knowing yourself, being comfortable in your skin, you know, and being able to tell your story. You know, and that's where I think I thrive when it comes to what it is that I portray in my music. It's all relative to me and it's all real. You know what I'm saying? As far as what it is that I've been through, my experience. So the first thing is definitely being able to tell your story and do it in a creative way that people can relate to it. But you got to take the leap. You know what I mean? Like if you don't, then you'll never, you know what I'm saying? You'll never know where it can take you. But it's a matter of being able to boss up and do it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a long road, whatever the case. But, you know, it's better than leaving it bottled in.
No, for sure, man. So in terms of your new album, What's Done Is Done, what do you think is like, what is so different about your most recent project than the ones that you made previously?
Oh, man. I think I was in a mental space where I was confused Like there was a lot of perplexing like thoughts in my head because, you know, I just gotten out of a relationship and whatnot, and I had to really sit back and, you know, understand and say to myself that everything happens for a reason. You know, I was really taking a big leap in what it is that I was doing. That was even one of the reasons I came out to LA. So as fast as I did, I always wanted to come out to LA, you know what I'm saying? But to be closer in my relationship is why I expedited it and why, you know, I sped the process up. But the project itself, I was making it while I was going through the motions of the relationship. Like I was still in my relationship at the time. And then, you know, some of the other joints happened to be after. So like, you know, it was a real telling story for me, you know what I'm saying, really from top to bottom as far as chronologically, that's really how it was happening. You know, like I was confused. Then it was like, okay, I see what it is. Like, you know, there's a switch up, you know what I'm saying? Now there's other people that are, you know, trying to get in my view, you know what I mean? Like as far as women that are trying to, you know, take that pressure off of me, you know what I'm saying? And be the person that I, you know, fall back on and, you know, be confident in telling them my story and whatnot. And then realizing, yo, like what's done is done, you know? So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a great title to even like give it that what's done is done. Cause I mean, that's just the truth of life. Sometimes like there's no moving back there's no moving forward, especially like when you might have like a bad past or anything with a certain situation. You just want to keep it where it was and move forward. Maybe not be no bad blood or whatnot, but you just want to keep it moving forward. But like in terms of like writing your music, tell me a line, and specifically in your Rear View song, because that's one of my favorite ones that you think is your favorite line in that joint.
Oh my God.
Or like what inspired that Rear View song? Like take me back to the moment when you was writing it.
Okay, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint like lyrics because I really do it to a T where I feel as though like this tells the whole story. So I'll give you like the understanding of the song itself. You know, I kind of start off by saying, you say that you mind, I know that you lying, you know I don't mind, whatever the case may be. So at that time, like I felt as though I didn't really have the woman who I thought that I did have, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I thought that I had her, or I thought that I knew her, I thought that, you know, we had this understanding, but apparently we didn't, you know, but I was still okay with dealing with it at the time. So in the hook, you hear me say, you know, you say you wanted to, then change. Okay, it's cool. Switch lanes, my rear view. I'm on my way to you. So I actually use that as a double analogy. So it's like if you say like, okay, come back, then I'm on my way to you. But on the other hand, it's like I changed my mind. I'm on my way to somebody else.
Right.
So
we all been in those situations, man. Like pulled back, you get pulled back into like a toxic situation, hesitation, all different kinds of things. And it's funny how like the traits and the things that you do in relationships kind of tie into how you are just overall as a person. Like intimate relationship will really shed light on like who you are as a person. Like will have you really check in the mirror. So
every time you check in the mirror,
we got the pause.
Shout out to Mirror Talk.
We got the Mirror Talk. Yes, sir.
Check the mirror.
That's hard too. I need one of them joints.
What'd you say?
I need one of them joints.
Now we
got you. And for the people that's in the comments, make sure y'all check out www.MirrorTlk.com. Y'all can go ahead and grab our shirt. And also
t-shirts, hoodies, hats, whatever. You know.
Yeah, we got it.
Toxic
What'd you
living
say?
ain't it. No, I'm starting to read some of the comments. Toxic living definitely ain't it, and that's why, you know, I said what I said. You know what I'm saying, in the music.
It's not lit. And the thing is that it needs to be like black men need to take the forefront of like talking about mental health within the black community. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to the point where as though we getting dragged through the mud on Twitter. When we gonna start saying, all right, yo, like
stop, man. Toxic relationships will help you realize, find yourself.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Not like in the moment, it may be fun, it may be cool, you may be feeling like, you know what I'm saying, all those emotions, but like in retrospect, you're like, I was really wild, I could have done better, or like I can't really experience that the next time. So I mean, it's a roller coaster. Love is just a roller coaster, all in all, you know.
And I want to clear the air and clarify. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret anything. You know what I'm saying? Like what it is that happened is what happened. You know, there's no bad blood. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's still love in my heart, and I'm able to, you know, be a bigger man and say that, because at the time I was really fucked up by it. You know what I'm saying? And I was frustrated. Like there's a lot of different things, but that release that I got out of my project was my way of really, you know, having that weight lifted off my shoulders. And that was, you know, that was my finalization on the matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, man. I mean, with all that being said, like we said, what's done is done.
Hold on. No negative energy in my live. That's
they wildin'.
No negative.
Don't make us turn off the comments, man. We wanna enjoy the engagement. We wanna feel the love and support. We wanna answer all the questions. So if y'all got something, if y'all really trolling, man, like yo, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be out of here. On some Tory Lanes, you don't got time. You bugging. We don't got time. We not even that type of like. Let me clear the air real quick before we even go forward for the people that's in the comments being crazy. One, keep that energy to yourself. We over here projecting positive energy to each other. You know what? I'm about to just block them.
Nah, it's cool. Look, let them live. No disrespect to anybody. There's no disrespect going on to anybody.
We love the support.
All right, but look, so we was talking to Jordan earlier. I ran the trendsetter thing picture passing him, and he was confused. He was like, "Huh?" Like you said. He was like, "How'd you find this?"
Everything on the internet is forever.
Literally.
Everything on the internet.
No, but he the one that gave it to me. Jordan didn't know. Exactly.
Now you switching.
Jordan ain't in here. Jordan don't know. But so like take me back to that experience when y'all was freshmen, like
back in the college days, you find yourself and like realizing like I'm lit.
Y'all been networking for years. You know what I'm saying? So you've been understood the importance of networking. Like how did what you did when you was a freshman with trendsetters turn into what you're doing right now?
Yeah, how did that turn, girl?
Biggie, fuck you. No negativity in my life. Anyway,
hashtag.
We were on a crazy wave, man. As far as trendsetters, like we came in as freshmen, and you know we put together a collective of individuals that were like all different in their own respects, but we were, you know, one tight unit. You know what I'm saying? And we started to use that influence to like throw parties and, you know, be a voice on campus and like be the same influence that we wanted to see from older people. You know what I'm saying? So basically some of the upperclassmen and whatnot were forced to work with us because, you know, we had the whole wave on lock. It was like, if you want to get in touch with the freshman class, you got to go through trendsetters. You know what I mean? And they were trying to get us to, you know, join a lot of different orgs at the time. We were just like, man, fuck that. We got our own thing going, you know? And, you know, we really had,
I feel that.
We really had a lot of people that, you know, ended up, you know, pledging D9 organizations like myself, like Jordan. We ended up having applications the following year when we were sophomores. Like, we were just cool, man. Like, we were just a cool group of people. And everybody respected us and loved us for, you know, just being ourselves. You know, we all had our thing. Like, at the time, I had the snapbacks and whatnot, crazy socks, whatever I had. Like, I don't know. Like, we all had our thing. Jordan used to wear City Sports T-shirts. Like, he had every color City Sports T-shirt. Like, we just all had our, like, we all had our niche. We all had our thing.
Yeah.
People, like, loved it. You know what I mean? It was just some dope shit.
So in what ways have that, like, what are some key takeaways that you learned from that experience that can help you, that you thought that, like, you kept from that moment and you took it forward to become a better version of yourself?
Just being able to connect with people on more than just a level of feeling like you can use that person. You know, so it's like you have to have real connectivity with people. You know, so I think that we built something organic because, like, these were genuinely my friends. You know what I mean? And, like, I genuinely wanted to learn about these people and vice versa. You know, so we knew how we all operated as a collective. Like, people know I'm liable to be a wild card. I'm the party starter, whatever. Jordan was real chill, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's able to talk and facilitate when it came to, you know, club owners or whatever the case. You know, like, we all had our roles and we knew how to use them as such. So it was, again, a matter of learning yourself at that time, you know, and I think I've used that all to this day. Like, I'm still the same person, you know, that I have always been. people like connecting with me because of the genuine spirit that I give, the energy that I give.
Yeah.
And, being a cool ass person and somebody that likes to laugh, have fun,
Yeah, can you touch bases on the importance of teamwork here and how it can like really cultivate a winning mentality and just that.
How to build off each other, things in that nature.
Yeah.
Hey, not to be cliche, bro, but teamwork really makes the dream work. Like I believe firmly that there's like three degrees of separation maximum when it comes to, damn near anybody in the world.
Yeah.
So you just never know who you're tied in with, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And I think that we were just able to use all of our assets, all of our connections, to build something great. So it's like, if, we needed a graphic designer, I might not have that, but I got a videographer. My boy has the graphic designer, whatever. And you just, again, it's just building those genuine friendships, though, where you can call on these different people to help you push whatever it is that your agenda is, and vice versa. You want to also be useful to somebody else that, you're trying to build with,
Yeah, for sure.
So that shit is always important.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, all right. I was just making sure everything was straight. But yeah, man, I mean, as I sit back here and I think about the importance of networking, it's like that's how we even started MirrorTlk, Like it started off with us talking about doing things for the community, us doing things for the community and making each other better, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we even got to even have this conversation right here.
So now I got a question for you, man. So like, you touched base on like, your music and how you started, your college days, and like how you grew as a person. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was that transition from Baltimore to the LA life? I know it's a different atmosphere. I know it's a different type of love or different type of opportunities that present itself. So like, how was it day one? And like, what are you doing today to continuously grow in that space, in that environment?
I think Baltimore, one thing that I gotta say, man, and I wish that we would do better as far as like our city, is being better at pushing one another, you know what I'm saying, or pulling another person up that's coming under you. Like, I don't like the fact that we have this whole crab in a barrel mentality. That shit really bothers me, you know what I'm saying? And even when it came to the stuff that I would do in Baltimore, I wasn't sure of people's intentions a lot of times, Yeah. And granted, like, it's kind of the same thing out here because everybody's looking to do something out in LA. But, in Baltimore it's different because, like, sometimes, like, niggas can really be greasy. Like, I think if you look at anybody who's had any sort of success, especially if they were somehow involved in the street life, they end up, rest in peace Scooter, you know what I'm saying? Just for examples. And like, and it had such a bright future, bro, and had such a path ahead of him, for him to be murdered, like, and I think that oftentimes troubles a lot of people that come out of that environment because it's like we don't want to go back necessarily because we got treated, as if people were jealous of what it is that they saw out of somebody else's talent, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily do a lot of shit in Baltimore, and I want to, but I think that it starts within. We can't be, people that want to see. We want to see ourselves up first before we, reach out and try to help somebody else. And I don't think that that's right. That shit is not cool at all. So, LA, I think that I just had to take that hustle that I had and coming from my environment and just apply it out here, and also realizing it's not easy to trust people, man, because you just never know, man. You never know somebody's intentions, and I think that that's anywhere, but with Baltimore, I know we got to do better with that shit.
No, for sure. And I mean, being in Baltimore, it's just Baltimore and in New York. Baltimore and New York are very similar places because they both gritty and they teach you like that you got to be on your P's and your Q's at all times. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty interesting. So I mean, what are you planning on doing in the future?
And what am I doing now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing now? What you plan on doing in the future?
Man, so I'm just having my hands in a lot of different pots right now. I look at myself as an overall creative, so I get hit up a lot of times to do, this, that, and the third, whether it be event planning, I still model and shit like that. This is stuff that I do outside of even my shit as far as my music shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now, like I'm about to start handling the operations for a clothing brand that I'm an ambassador for. You know, I have a partnership with an event space in downtown LA. I'm just looking to be involved creatively anywhere that I can get in. You know, I'm still fresh out here, so I'm still finding my niche. But I think that people definitely see me as a resource and as a creative asset. So
yeah,
whether it comes to, you know, just having that mind to be able to bring something together and really elevate something, or you know, doing my own shit, you know.
Yeah, man.
I feel it.
It really starts from you, like looking from within and like figuring things out from at yourself first. And once you do that, you can move forward for real. We see somebody drop, was it G Jim? She dropped for modeling, follow at J Cole. Actually, she said right here. I don't know why I did all that. Pull up. Pull up.
Real quick. I know you mentioned, you know, being a creative influencer, and I know like a lot of people are like even adding that in their bio when they want to create a business page or things in that nature. Like, can you give us a quick spill on like your definition of what it is to be a creative, or like what it is to be an influencer and really take Mark into that space? Like, how can you really make an impact associating those titles to yourself, things of that nature?
So being an influencer to me is like, you know, having a voice and understanding what that means. You know, like your voice is going to carry, and it has power in ways that you don't really realize. You know, like I know I influence a lot of people that feel as though they're trailblazing the same path as I am. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of being a mentor in that space as far as being an influencer. You got to treat it that way across the board. So anything that I post has intention. Anything that I say has intention. You know, so that's as far as being an influencer. Being a creative, I don't like to limit myself at all. So even when it comes to the music, like I started off rapping, but I have a good enough voice that I can mold. So like I'm starting to try to sing. I don't have vocal lessons or anything like that, you know, but just being a creative in general. So like somebody might send me a flyer and they're like, bro, like you're the most creative person I know. What can I change about this flyer? You know what I'm saying? Just really being open to trying new things and trying to, like I said, elevate somebody else's vision. You know, so I've been involved on other people's studio sessions. I might not even work on anything when it comes to whatever it is that they have going on. It might not be a collaborative effort, but I'm like, yo, I think you should do this. And boom, it's just making the next best product, you know? So just being open.
Speaking of collaboration, that like I didn't see too many collaborations on your music. Why is that?
Features.
Yeah, in terms of features.
It's just time and space, bro. I think that, you know, there's a right time for everything. And I get into different, you'd be surprised at some of the rooms that I sit in and whatnot, and, you know, the people that I connect with and whatnot, that a lot of times, like people's, you know, favorite artists and whatnot, but I don't say much, you know what I'm saying? I like, again, I build a genuine relationship with people. So it's like, I don't oftentimes come out and say like, yo, I want to do a feature with this, that, whatever. I'll just be in the room, you know, and then when the time is right, it'll happen organically, you know?
Right.
So that's what it is. Whenever I'm making music and whatnot, typically it's like people that I'm close to, or it's people that, you know, I interact with on a daily basis. And, you know, they'll sit in a session and I do music like this. So it's like, if somebody feels that they can elevate my vision, then boom, go ahead, try it. Jump in the booth. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how it works for me. So I don't necessarily look to, I don't go out of my way to make collaborative efforts and shit like that. I'm involved behind the scenes with a lot of shit, but I don't pride myself on that. You know, I do my own thing.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That makes a lot of sense.
When it came to what's done is done, it was like, that was my story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my, so it's just like, it was hard for me to have anybody else really be involved with it other than myself and the producers, and, you know, me wanting to tell this story that I needed to get off my chest. You know what I'm saying?
How is it that deals like put a lot of people into like constraints where though they can't drop music?
Say it again.
How is it that a lot of deals put a lot of people in, a lot of artists into constraints where though they can't drop music?
Not reading the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
It really boils down to that, because you got to think, when you start doing deals with other people, they see value in you.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they don't necessarily, as far as the artist, they don't look at it as, you know, being something that can tie them in, because all they see is the money advance. They see, oh, I'm gonna have this name attached to me now. Like, but you gotta understand, if a label is reaching out to you, then a label sees value in you, and they're trying to make money off of you. So it's like, how you gonna make money for yourself? You know, and I think that that's one of the big things that people have to realize. Like, you got your business. You have to be business minded. You have to like research. You have to study. It's not a get up and go sort of industry when it comes to entertainment. Never been that way. You know, you can make it work for you, but you have to find out what the best pathway is for you. You know, like you can't judge off of somebody else's shit like 360 deals, whatever. It might work for them. It might not work for you, you know. But knowing the paperwork, it starts there, bro.
No, for real, bro. I mean, you ever thought about going to Atlanta?
Yeah. I think that when I got out to LA, like, I just felt like I needed to be here. You know what I'm saying? That we got trolls all in the building.
That's all it is. Just trolls everywhere.
That's a form of love. You feel me? Not everybody's blessed to have a troll for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I don't got no trolls for no reason.
Like random accounts that just followed me just now when I was saying I was going on live. Shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, but no, man. So like I was saying, bro, I just appreciate you for even reaching out and being able to be in contact with us and just do some work with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we do plan on keeping this relationship in terms of just building it on some brotherhood type of vibe, also business type of vibe, whatever the case may be. So if y'all have any positive questions, please drop them in the comments. If you don't have any positive questions, we can't help you.
I don't pay attention to any of that negative shit, man.
Yeah.
That shit bother me, bro.
But like, yeah, we don't pay attention to it, but like, this would be my last question. My last question would be like, what is something that you would want the world to know about you that they may not know?
That's a tough question, bro. I don't know. Shit. I don't know, man. I think, you know, I just try to be as genuine as possible. Like, if I vibe with you, I vibe with you. If not, fuck it. It is what it is, you know, but I don't wish hate on anybody. I don't wish anything bad on anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, if you come in a positive light into my world and shit, then I hope that resonates with you and I have a lasting impression, you know?
Yo, somebody randomly asked you, do you like psychedelics?
I like psychedelic. I've never done it, man. I've honestly, like, I just started smoking weed when I got out here. Like, I was
for real?
Yeah, bro. Like, I never really did it. Oh, so funny story. I'm gonna keep it brief, but I promised my dad when I was 8 years old that I would never smoke. Mind you, I didn't know the difference at the time between cigarettes and tree. You know,
you was talking about the fuzz.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about the fuzz. I was like, I will never smoke. If you stop smoking cigarettes right now, I'll never smoke. So I kept up with that until I was like 19 and 20. And then I realized that there was, you know, as I was growing up, I realized that there was a difference. And my dad actually had stopped smoking at the time. But my grandmother passed and it stressed him out and picked it back up. He's off it now again. But anyway, I promised him when I was 8. And then around like 19 and 20, I was like, yo, I think I want to try this thing. And my dad is like one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, go ahead, try it. You know, and I'm like, nigga, all this time, I was waiting, you know what I'm saying?
All this time.
You could have given me some, nah, something, and we could have talked about it, and then I would have done it, you know, but no, it was funny. Because I ended up, I was a little turned, bro. I was already drinking, and I hit a 3-foot bomb, and I was out of there. For my first time ever, you know what I'm saying, experiencing marijuana and shit. Like,
bro, you went straight to sleep. I know you did.
I went to sleep for 12 hours, bro. No smoke, none of that shit. I drank a gallon of water before. They recorded it and everything. They was fucking with me, bro. It was funny.
You say you would sleep for 12 hours, boy. That was a half a day.
I woke up, no bullshit, and I thought that it was
3 foot of hell.
3 foot
I thought it was sunrise. You know what I'm saying? But it was called Aurora as far as the bomb. But I woke up and I thought it was sunrise, and I'm like, I've only been asleep for a few hours. Lo and behold, it was 12, bro. So yeah, that was
like wild. Some damn nigga, you did Wayne too.
Somebody said your first weed nap was social distancing, man.
You say you drank lean?
I've done lean too. That was back around the ASAP, you know.
Yeah, no. That lean feels like make life feel like water. It's 280.
Yeah, but see, and that's why I treat it differently, because to me, it reminds me of liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't really consider that a hard drug. Granted, you know, some of the negative side effects and all that kind of shit, but I don't really consider that a drug. But this is the most that you see me doing. I'll smoke hookah now, and that's another thing. Influenced by the people I'm around. I didn't do this shit until I got out here.
I got one last question for you before we head off.
Come on, I'm here.
Top 5 hip hop, and then we're gonna do top 5 trap.
Top 5 hip hop and then top 5 trap.
We're gonna
trap artists.
We're gonna specify the difference.
The difference. The trap is, you know what trap is? That's the Gucci's, the Jeezys. Hip hop is the Jay-Z's, J. Cole's, Lil Wayne's, all them.
Yeah. All right, so top 5. Damn, bro, this is always such a tough decision for me. All right, top 5 hip hop or rap. I'm gonna always put Jay-Z first.
Jay-Z.
I'm gonna say, yo, it's crazy. I actually wrote this shit down too. Yeah, hold on. Nah, all right, I'm gonna try not to cheat. I'm gonna say Jay. Then I'm gonna say Cole.
Okay.
Then I'd say, I always put Drake in the artist bag. I don't like to necessarily just confine him to just rap. You know what I'm saying? Because he's multifaceted. But
Drake does everything.
I'm gonna say Drake, then Cole. I'm sorry, then Kendrick rather. So Jay.
Okay, you got one more.
Cole, Drake, Kendrick. I know I'm about to regret this shit because I'm about to forget somebody.
It's 5 though. It's not 10.
Oh man, bro. I'm gonna say Biggie. I'm gonna say Biggie.
Can't go wrong with that.
You think Cole is over Lil Wayne?
Oh, see, I knew I was gonna forget somebody. Oh.
Yo, Lil Wayne. Like,
yeah,
you still gotta remember, like, shit.
Lil Wayne, do you remember the drought?
No.
How Lil Wayne make you feel?
Nah.
Hold on. I'm going to my list.
Nah, look, it's funny because I actually wrote this joint the other day and we were having this discussion. Hold on, let me get my MacBook so I'm not lying to y'all. I'll let y'all know exactly.
Kendrick ain't before Drake. Shorty in the comments.
Hold on.
Talk about transparency.
Traveling, but I'm about to look right now. All right, so here's my list. I'm about to show it to y'all so y'all know I'm not pump faking. We were literally just having this conversation. All right. So this is my list, and I actually had it in 10.
Oh, you about to show us the list? All right.
Yeah, like I had literally. You see the date, April 5th, right? We were having a discussion. It's me, my boy Mello, and then Jay. But anyway, so my top 10 was right here. So Jay, Drake, Wayne, Cole, Kendrick, like that.
50 Cent number 6.
Glad to see 50 on there. That's real nigga shit.
That's a first.
Real nigga shit.
That's
right
a first.
There.
Like,
never drop 50.
In top
People
5.
sleep, bro.
Disrespectful.
I mean, he is 6, but still close.
Disrespectful to not drop 50. He changed the entire rap game.
Oh, bro, people
50
are
times on his Will Smith shit.
Let me tell you what niggas forget.
Many.
Niggas forget Kanye West because he crazy. But he changed the culture.
I put Kanye on there. I put Kanye number 7.
I don't fuck with Kanye.
Everybody was talking about they don't fuck with Kanye, but like Kanye is that nigga.
Again, though, that was more so like artists and rappers.
All right, now let's do the trap.
Top 5 trap. So it's funny. I always like to say that, like, in Baltimore, we grew up on the E rappers. And what I mean by that is, like, it's Goochie, Boosie, Webby, Wheezy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all, like, had that E, that E pattern in their name and shit. But I would say, damn, bro, that shit is tough. I would say Gucci. I'm not going to put this in order. But I'm going to say Gucci. I'm going to say Gotti. Then Jeezy. Gucci, Gotti, Jeezy. I'm about to forget somebody again. I'm going to say Boosie. I'm forgetting somebody, bro.
You said
Who am I
Boosie twice, bro.
No, I said Gucci, Gotti,
Gucci,
Jeezy.
Gotti, Jeezy, Boosie.
Then
Now you got one more.
Then Boosie, and I'm gonna say, who am I forgetting? Dog? Look, help me out before I forget somebody. Y'all know I'm about to forget somebody because I'm about to just say
I can help you out with this one, bro.
Somebody got to take notes. What you
Somebody, Trinidad James. Who said that? Get out of here.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I'll put Future in there. I put Future in there.
Future's trap.
Yes.
Yes.
Future's trap.
Future is trap.
Future definitely trap. Nigga, what?
Young Thug is trap.
This is top 5 of all time.
Young Thug is trap.
First of all, wait, we can't talk.
Future. I'm gonna definitely say
Not
Future.
yet.
We have a live audience.
We got a
here.
live audience here in the MirrorTlk lab. They comment.
Yeah.
Everybody come hop in, please. If y'all want to hop in, hop behind the screen.
No, wait, I gotta
Hop behind the screen and do a hop in.
You
We
know,
talking about
Rapper?
top 5 track. This is real right here. We got the comments going crazy.
Jay-Z.
What?
I'm gonna put
Jay-Z, how Jay-Z?
That's not trap music.
Tip is not in there.
Tip.
I'm gonna put
Tip
Tip at 6.
is an honorable mention.
Young
Yeah,
Thug.
he's not in that top
Young
5.
He's not a top 5.
Young
I'm gonna
Thug.
put Tip at 6 though, cause he's definitely a pioneer. I'm gonna put Tip at 6.
We give you the pioneer.
Tip.
Hey,
What?
Boogie.
What?
What are you doing?
Wait, have y'all not listened to A Boogie?
That's hip hop.
Music is not trap music.
What are y'all talking
Hold on,
about?
who said A Boogie?
I said A Boogie.
You got, hey, get out the frame, bro.
No, like A Boogie's like
No, yo.
No, it's just trap.
No, yo.
Okay, so y'all gonna say Pop Smoke is
Yo, he said, who said that? We both said.
Okay.
Yo, bro, trap music.
Trip.
Boy.
Nigga said she
Whole
bugging.
brick, half a
He
brick.
tripping,
Whole
dog.
brick,
No.
hey.
That type of music.
Oh, okay.
Gucci #1.
Like that shit that make you want to go to work at the pot.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that one, bro. That ain't it.
Young, all right.
Yo,
Wait,
it's a discrepancy
Wait.
some way, somehow. Yo,
Young Thug
what's your definition of trap music?
changed the entire game.
Yeah, he's not.
Young Thug?
he's
Oh,
not
no.
individual.
Any
He's
change,
not.
any change fashion.
Yeah,
But
and
look,
he not
Y'all need to
individual.
give Young Thug his words.
Yo, chill on the A Boogie,
Well,
please.
They-
Lil Baby up next.
Listen.
Lil Baby definitely up next,
He
y'all.
said a book, little baby.
Listen.
Don't gotta respect this top 10 yet.
Wait, Lil
Listen,
Baby
listen.
definitely up next. Y'all better stop.
We talking about top 5 of all time.
Reggie, you better stop.
Young Thug is up there. You know Young Thug is up there.
Hold on, bro. Not top 5.
A Boogie.
I love Thug.
That's why y'all know y'all from down
Y'all
south.
y'all gotta understand though. We
Master
talking
Field,
about
now we going back.
we talking about the beginning of trap music, bro. We talking about the beginning,
Big
from the
Sean.
beginning. You gotta put Future over Thug.
Y'all better stop.
Oh, of course. I'm putting Future over Thug. But if you
Yeah,
want to throw
so-
it back,
You're
I'm like,
putting Future over Thug?
Yes!
You're smoking.
Yes.
what are you talking? He makes
You
better
gotta be
albums. He
higher
makes better
You
mixtapes.
gotta be
He's
higher
more
than-
consistent than Young
Better
Thug.
than Young Thug?
Yes.
You're bugging.
Shorty, you said A Boogie, so we can't even listen to what you're talking about.
Nah, big bro.
We can't even give you that time of day no more.
Come on, Jordan. All right. So, Jordan, tell us in the comments what Young Thug got to do to make it to be the top 5. Let us know. We got the music executives in here talking. We got
Thug gotta come out
that
with better
comment.
bodies of work.
You said what?
Thug gotta come out with better bodies of work. And don't get me wrong, Thug to me is that nigga's next level. I wouldn't even necessarily put him in trap because he's an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I really respect anything that Thug does.
Do you know Slime Season 2?
I don't put that nigga in trap, bro.
I listened to that today like that came out yesterday.
He on some different shit. Thug on some different
He need
shit,
more
bro.
time. Jadakiss.
Great body of work.
Wait. Jadakiss is not trap music. That's
Yeah, Jadakiss is
that's
drug-
hip hop.
drug
Yeah, wait.
music.
First of all, y'all
Jadakiss
need
is
to
hip hop.
clear about what
You said
Once you get to like that
anything
Mason
that's
Dixon
second
line,
I think is rap.
it's hip hop.
Nigga talk about a Mason Dixon line. That's funny.
For those who don't
That's
know,
real.
that's right here in Maryland. Maryland and up is hip hop.
Wouldn't even be on.
Yeah.
Gunna got on 'cause of Thug.
All right, they said Thug is different. I love his style. He's real. He's not as consistent. All right,
Yeah, like,
he
what
went through a
y'all
time
chatting
where he
about?
wasn't consistent because he was putting other niggas on.
What y'all chatting about?
Yo,
That's
Thug would be in the top 10 as far as trap goes, but I wouldn't put him top 5. That's just what it is.
All right.
That's the same thing.
respectable.
That's the same thing for like Ross and shit when it comes to rap. Ross is up there, nigga, and people asleep. But he wouldn't be top
Can't see
5.
Ross. Ross is
Boss
a
boy that feel like a boss.
At this point, when we get off this call, I'm about to call you and Jordan on the phone, and we're gonna have a conversation about this because I feel like this can last for a minute. Because he's talking about Future got deep about his work. I agree, but I'm about to throw in a wild card for all the people that really know trap music. Shout out to my nigga over here, you, Nardo, pull up, come to the screen. This is my nigga right here, Nardo.
Yo.
Tell them about 3-6 Mafia and Project Pat.
Hey, listen, they started.
Project Pat
They
got the
started
best
trap
flow
music.
ever.
Huh?
Pat got the best flow ever, but he not
Oh,
top
for
5.
sure.
Yes,
Project
sir.
Pat
Yes,
talk.
sir.
They don't know. They don't know.
He not top
What
5.
y'all guys say
I
in the
got
comments?
cheese,
A
dope,
lot of
and
people
a
don't
bunch
even know about Project.
What y'all
Pat.
guys say in the comments?
A lot of people don't know about
Jordan, where
Project
you at, bro? Rick Ross is not trap music.
Rick Ross is not trap.
He wanted to be trap. He was mainstream from the get-go.
He's a
Rick
correctional.
Ross is braggadocious
Rick Ross-
with Jay-Z.
Now, Rick Ross.
And I
Don't
think
you
that he can-
disrespect
I
no Rick
think that if he
Ross.
can-
Do not
he can
disrespect
borrow
Rick Ross
beat
on
that
MirrorTlk TV. We do not appropriate that. What is wrong with him?
We
Rick
do not
Ross,
condone
hit me up.
in the blasphemy and defamation of character
Of Rick Ross.
alright?
It's not happening. What?
Rick
It's
Ross
time to
put
get money,
himself
I'm
on a
throwing
different
Rick Ross.
plateau.
3-6 got the heat, exactly. So
All right, so look, so boom. So we basically all on the same page, right? So now I got a question for y'all. We're gonna shift gears real quick.
Okay.
Top 5 R&B.
I knew you was about to do that shit.
Yo,
What's up?
you
Hopefully,
can be, yeah,
That's too hard.
Niggas can scapegoat
all right, so let's go 90s.
R&B is too hard because the time frame is so wide.
Let's go 90s and up.
Alright. Who the fuck you got in the 80s?
Nigga, what?
Nah,
Keith Sweat? What are you
I know-
talking
I
about?
know you have
Boy,
the
Jodeci.
All right, he gotta go to sleep.
Get him out of here.
It wasn't in the 90s.
You gotta go to sleep.
Get him out of here.
It wasn't in the 90s.
Computer. No, that's the jam. All right.
That's
All
for
right.
y'all. All right, hopefully Shorty can make some sense of this one.
The whole MirrorTlk team, come on. Huddle.
Everybody in there, come on. We got huddle. Everybody, come on. We got a huddle. Top 5 R&B of all time.
Because
Yes,
my
we are on
favorite
TV.
genre is
Come on,
90s
team.
R&B. So
R&B?
don't fuck this up.
Sit down.
My favorite
Chris
genre
Brown.
is 90s R&B, so don't fuck this up.
If
Chris
it's
Brown.
not there, you need to put Usher in there.
Usher.
Hold on. You jump right off the gate talking about Chris Brown, number 1.
I'm not doing no
Usher,
order. No
Usher,
order. No
Usher,
order.
Usher.
We
No
gotta
order.
do the order.
No order. I don't have order. Chris Brown, Usher. Shit, man. I guess shit.
He don't know what the fuck he about to say.
I don't know, bro. Like it's a lot of great people out here.
Drake not hip hop or is Drake?
This is
We
90s
said
and
R&B.
up.
Whitney
Don't make
Houston.
y'all sound stupid.
I don't know.
This is 90s and up. Don't make y'all
Whitney
sound
I
Houston.
gotta go to
Nice.
Spotify because I'm
Is Whitney
23.
Houston nice? 90s? Bro, I'm 23. Can we do 2000s up?
I'm not a musician.
Nigga, you was around? No. Nigga, you be all right.
In the 90s, I was born in 97.
Bro, you
I
will
was
be
born in
just
97.
fine. You had enough of an experience
Shit.
to go to
Oh.
hit them throwbacks.
All right, 90s up.
Broadway.
Genuine,
Oh,
Usher,
Genuine for sure.
Usher, Chris Brown.
I hope this is not an order.
I'm
bro.
trying to think.
I hope this
No
is not
order,
an
no order.
Tank.
Not the 90s. I don't know that
Tank was
nigga. Really.
nice.
I'm talking about nice niggas, like niggas that I can listen to today.
Mary J. Blige.
Oh, Mary J.
Oh
Blige
my
for sure.
God, man.
And
You're gonna have to
Beyonce.
split it up as far as
All right, we gonna have to
Yeah, we
split
gotta
this
do
up.
like
by
male
R&B.
and female.
Male
Like,
R&B.
We gonna have to split
Yeah,
this
you
up
gotta
by
Why
split
you
it
team
up.
gotta split it up?
because y'all saying crazy stuff on here.
Mary
You're gonna have to split it up. Female
Mary
and
J.
male.
Blige.
No. Listen, split it up, male and female. Y'all gonna sound crazy.
All right.
Split it up. Y'all gonna have
First
to.
of all time woman.
We gotta go home.
This is Akeem's
I'm just saying it's all time.
/ MirrorTlk list.
I'm saying.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Whitney Houston.
Okay, let me check.
Don't disrespect her.
Don't kick me out.
Number 1. Whitney. Okay. After Whitney, Neo is a man. We talking about women. Whitney Houston,
Okay, come on.
Mary J, Anita Baker. What's wrong with y'all?
I left for 2
Hold on,
seconds.
Ashanti, no.
You talking about some
Aaliyah, let's stop playing. Aaliyah had our childhood going crazy.
Shorty said
Lauryn
Ashanti.
Hill
I can't
R&B,
give you
that's more like hip hop. I can't give it to Lauryn Hill. She's more hip hop.
I can't give a
Mo-
what? Somebody said Ashanti.
Mariah Carey had that joint. Mariah Carey. Go ahead. Hey, best. Thank you. High five. That's my best friend right there.
Hey,
That's my best friend right there.
you know who y'all
Brianna Pinkney, shorty. Make sure y'all
You know
go
who
follow
y'all
her.
forgot?
The Pinkney Promise Foundation.
You know who y'all forgot?
Who?
Sade. I'm just saying. I'm just here to. I'm here to
I'm
start.
not putting Sade over top of Mariah in terms of bangers. In terms of
I'm
singing,
not talking about in terms of bangers. I'm talking about best R&B. What that mean to you? It could be B-sides. Who knows?
hey, yo, we over here just talking now. Look, this is what we about to do. We about to call you on the phone.
You better, nigga. You got 39 people tuned in. You better enjoy this shit. Nigga, turn up.
All right, say less, say less. But no, Sade got a better voice though.
Bro, Sade is timeless, bro. Sade influenced Drake.
Yo, Jordan, you got a good point. But I think if we change it, if we do a different time frame where we do 2010s or the 2000s to now, that'll be a whole different thing. Her is amazing.
Yeah, she can't go all time though.
She can't go all time. But if we talking about now, all right, let's talk about groups. Let's talk about groups. We got 37 people online.
37.
Let's talk about groups. Who's the top groups right now that people don't that's underrated? I'm gonna go out there and say the internet. If you got anything else to say.
Oh yeah, of course.
We talking real music here.
Yeah, no, definitely the internet. That's probably gonna be number one for me as far
They
as right
can
now.
go ahead